TLC's Sister Wives is a reality show. However, all production teams add a scripted element now and then. And in the editing room, crew members can piece together footage to tell a story that doesn't quite line up with the truth. See what viewers had to say in a recent online thread. A Redditor accuses Meri Brown of receiving special treatment. For years, Meri Brown has been a hot topic of debate among Sister Wives viewers. Some believe she was cruel and standoffish, while others maintain she was a victim of the polygamous system. In all likelihood, the truth probably lies somewhere in the middle. But until Meri publishes her own memoir, fans will speculate online. TLC's Sister Wives is a reality show. However, all production teams add a scripted element now and then. And in the editing room, crew members can piece together footage to tell a story that doesn't quite line up with the truth. See what viewers had to say in a recent online thread. A Redditor accuses Meri Brown of receiving special treatment. For years, Meri Brown has been a hot topic of debate among Sister Wives viewers. Some believe she was cruel and standoffish, while others maintain she was a victim of the polygamous system. In all likelihood, the truth probably lies somewhere in the middle. But until Meri publishes her own memoir, fans will speculate online. The Redditor added that the church largely played a role in Meri's poor relationships with Janelle and Christine. And on top of that, they mentioned that the family eventually did trade down cars, and Meri never had a convertible of her own. Sister Wives fans add their own thoughts. Other Sister Wives fans readily agreed with this response, citing passages from the book. Comments included, "Janelle mentions it in the book too. Production really did Meri dirty in the beginning. The fact that Meri was transitioning to having a career after years of being co-Zoam is a million times more interesting than the empty nest or IVS storyline we got. It really is a shame because apparently Meri had friends and hobbies in Vegas. I get that her MLMs were hard for them to film, but they should have figured out a way to incorporate the fact that Meri was working all that time. Instead, we got contrived drama between her and Kody or her and Robyn. I'll be honest, the biggest disservice this show has done to Meri is downplaying her contribution to raising the kids before Lady. Meri was equally eligible as Christine for being seen as motherly, and it would have changed people's perception of her. What do you make of this Sister Wives discussion? What have you noticed about Meri Brown's portrayal on the show? Add your own thoughts in the comments below. Keep following TV shows Ace Online and stay tuned for news of upcoming season 19 episodes. When Sister Wives first premiered in 2010, it brought the unconventional lives of the Brown family into the living rooms of millions of viewers. At the center of the show was Kody Brown and his 4 wives: Meri, Janelle, Christine, and Robyn. For many fans, the Brown family was an eye-opening look into the world of polygamy, a lifestyle that was far removed from the traditional monogamous marriages most viewers were familiar with. However, as the seasons progressed, the portrayal of each wife and their relationships with Kody became increasingly complex and at times divisive. Among the wives, Meri Brown, Kody's first wife, often found herself in the spotlight for a variety of reasons. Her relationship with Kody became a central focus of the show, and over time, viewers began to question whether TLC's portrayal of Meri was entirely fair, or if the network's editing choices painted a picture that didn't accurately reflect her true experience. While some fans admired Meri for her calm, measured approach to the family's dynamics, others criticized her for her role within the family. Her relationship with Kody, once considered strong, deteriorated, leading to rumors, emotional struggles, and the eventual emotional and physical distance between the couple. But was the way TLC portrayed Meri's experiences a true reflection of her reality? Or did the show and the network make missteps in their portrayal of her? Let's examine whether TLC's portrayal of Meri Brown was wrong, exploring how the network's editing choices, selective storytelling, and public narrative shaped public perception of her, and whether it was fair to Meri's real-life experiences. The rise of Meri Brown, a polygamous pioneer. Meri's story began as one of excitement and possibility. When Kody married her in the early 1990s, they were in a monogamous relationship. As the first wife, Meri held a position of importance within the family structure, which was built around the idea of polygamy as part of their spiritual beliefs. Kody and Meri's relationship seemed solid at the beginning of Sister Wives, with viewers witnessing their journey as a couple and their unique role in the family. However, it was soon clear that Kody's relationships with his other wives would take center stage as well, with Meri's role often shifting into a more secondary position as time went on. As the first wife, Meri was expected to take on a leadership role in the family, but it quickly became apparent that her influence was limited, especially when compared to Kody's more equal partnerships with his later wives, Janelle, Christine, and Robyn. TLC showcased the intricate dynamics of the Brown family, often focusing on the tension and challenges faced by each wife in their relationships with Kody. Meri, however, seemed to be the most quietly resigned to her role. She didn't demand attention, and while she expressed her emotional struggles on camera, they were often portrayed in a subdued manner. As the seasons passed, Meri's relationship with Kody began to deteriorate, and this slow unraveling of their connection would become a central storyline. The breakdown of Meri and Kody's marriage. One of the most pivotal moments in the show was the public airing of Meri and Kody's marital struggles. The couple had grown emotionally distant over the years, largely due to Kody's increasing focus on his other wives and the demands of raising a growing family. As a result, Meri's emotional well-being seemed to take a backseat. In the early seasons, Meri was depicted as the loyal and patient wife, often enduring Kody's favoritism towards his other wives. However, by the time the show entered its later seasons, viewers began to notice a shift. Kody's connection to Meri seemed strained, and Meri was increasingly seen as a peripheral figure in the family. This change didn't go unnoticed by fans, many of whom speculated about the couple's future. It was clear that Meri and Kody's relationship was faltering, but it wasn't until season 16 of Sister Wives that things took a dramatic turn. Meri revealed that Kody had emotionally distanced himself from her, a stark contrast to the loving, strong partnership they had once shared. Their relationship became strained even further when it was revealed that Kody had been in a catfish scandal, where he had been conversing online with a woman he believed was another person. This emotional betrayal caused irreparable damage to the marriage and seemed to confirm what many fans had suspected, that Meri was no longer seen as a priority in Kody's life. TLC's portrayal of Meri during this time raised many questions. Was the show presenting an accurate picture of the breakdown of Meri and Kody's marriage, or was it framing the situation in a way that made Meri appear more passive and resigned than she truly was? TLC's editing choices, framing the narrative. One of the most important aspects to consider when analyzing Meri's portrayal is TLC's role in shaping the narrative. Television shows are, by nature, edited to create compelling storylines, and Sister Wives was no exception. But did the network misrepresent Meri's role in the family? Did they choose to focus on her struggles with Kody in a way that made her appear weak, passive, or even invisible? While viewers were often presented with moments of emotional turmoil for Meri, it is important to remember that what we saw on screen was just a fraction of the larger story. TLC's decision to highlight certain aspects of her relationship with Kody, such as their moments of tension, Kody's favoritism toward Robyn, or Meri's emotional breakdowns may have created a narrative that was skewed, leaving viewers with a perception of Meri as someone who was largely inactive in her own happiness. Meri's portrayal often lacked nuance. While it was clear she was emotionally invested in her relationship with Kody, her internal struggles and desires were not always conveyed as deeply as those of Kody's other wives. The show leaned heavily on Meri's moments of vulnerability, focusing on her pain without fully exploring her internal growth or her attempts at reclaiming power in her relationship. For example, Meri made the decision to leave Kody's physical intimacy behind after years of distance and emotional disconnect. TLC depicted this choice in a way that left some viewers questioning Meri's willingness to fight for her marriage. However, it's important to understand that Meri's decision wasn't a simple one. It was shaped by years of emotional exhaustion, a lack of support from Kody, and her own personal journey of self-discovery. The show did not fully showcase Meri's complexity as a person, instead painting her as a figure of sorrow without offering a deep exploration of her resilience or strength in the face of adversity. Meri's own words, the reality behind the scenes. In interviews outside of Sister Wives, Meri has expressed her frustration with the portrayal of her life on the show. She has shared that the editing choices made by TLC often distorted her reality, leading to a disconnect between her real-life experiences and how they were presented on television. For Meri, the show's editing didn't capture her growth and her pursuit of happiness, instead framing her as a woman perpetually stuck in a hopeless marriage with Kody. "I feel like there's a misconception about me, about who I am and what I'm going through," Meri has said in various interviews. "There are things I've done for my own growth that the show doesn't show. I'm not just this sad, passive woman waiting for things to change. I'm actively working on myself and my life, but the show doesn't always reflect that." Meri's frustration is understandable. The reality TV world is notorious for creating narratives that may not align with the truth, often editing footage to fit a specific storyline. In Meri's case, the show often focused on her struggles without showing her evolution and the actions she took to better her life outside of her marriage to Kody. By focusing on her pain and loneliness, TLC missed an opportunity to depict Meri as a dynamic individual capable of growth, change, and personal empowerment. Conclusion: was TLC's portrayal of Robyn Brown wrong? In hindsight, it's clear that TLC's portrayal of Robyn Brown was flawed in several ways. While it's true that Meri's relationship with Kody became a focal point of the show, the network's selective storytelling and editing choices didn't always capture the full picture of Meri's life. By focusing heavily on her emotional struggles and framing her as a passive figure, TLC inadvertently oversimplified her story, reducing her to a one-dimensional character rather than a complex and evolving individual. It's important to recognize that reality TV is inherently constructed, and the stories we see on screen are shaped by the network's editorial decisions. In Meri's case, these choices often worked against her, leaving her character misunderstood by many fans. The truth is that Meri is not simply a passive, resigned woman. She is a woman who has faced immense challenges, including emotional betrayal, and has made significant strides in reclaiming her own happiness and self-worth. Ultimately, TLC's portrayal of Robyn Brown was incomplete and sometimes misleading. While the network did capture certain aspects of her emotional journey, it missed the opportunity to fully explore her growth and resilience. The reality of Meri's life, both on Sister Wives and beyond, deserves to be understood with more depth, empathy, and respect.